This morning, I was sitting out on my porch, watching the fog slowly rise from the trees, when a thought settled into me all at once. I realized very clearly that I am 75 years old. Inside this house, the quiet no longer feels like empty air. It feels alive, like a room filled with memories. After living through many long decades, I've seen the world shift in countless ways. But more than anything else, I've seen people disappear from my life. My parents, my brothers and sisters, friends I've known for most of my years, and the person I believed would be holding my hand right up until the final moment. Many of them are no longer here. When you reach this stage of life, you start to feel invisible in a world designed for the young. I watch them hurry through their days, stressing over things that, from where I stand, seem as small and fleeting as grains of sand slipping through fingers. Sometimes they ask me, "What is it like to be this old?" Other times, they look at me with sympathy, as if being the last one left is something tragic. But there's something about being 75 that no one explains until you arrive here yourself. When everything familiar is taken away, when people and roles fall off one by one, what's left isn't emptiness. What's left is honesty. If you're younger than me, I want you to listen carefully. If you're close to my age, come sit beside me. I want to talk about the things that stay behind, the things that remain when the house goes quiet and the phone stops ringing. This is what truly lasts. One of the first lessons I learned is that we never truly own anything, or anyone. In my 40s and 50s, I believed my life could be measured by what I had created. My job, my home, my standing in the world. I protected those things as if they would last forever. But now, at 75, I look down at my hands and see that they're empty. And somehow, that doesn't frighten me. I've watched the houses I once lived in change owners. I've watched my work and accomplishments fade from memory, forgotten by people who weren't even alive when I stepped away. What remains isn't a prize or a title. It's the kind of person you became while chasing those things. I understand now that the people we love are only temporarily placed in our care. We don't truly possess our partners or our children. We're simply trusted with them for a short stretch of time. When you stop trying to hold on so tightly and instead focus on fully experiencing someone, grief begins to change shape. It stops feeling like something was stolen from you and starts feeling like gratitude for having been given that time at all. What remains is the love you offered, because love is the one thing that doesn't decay or get sold off after you're gone. When you're young, you spend your life waiting for the big moments, the wedding day, the promotion, the dream vacation. Your eyes are always fixed on what's ahead. It took me a lifetime to understand that life isn't made up of those high points alone. It's built from the steps you take between them. If I could start over, I wouldn't chase more achievements. I would slow down and notice more. I'd sit longer with my coffee. I'd pay closer attention to the sound of birds in the morning. At the end of a long life, what stays with you is a collection of tiny, beautiful moments that once seemed unimportant and turned out to be everything. One of the hardest things about outliving so many people is the loneliness. My generation was raised to stay busy at all costs. But when the children moved on and friends passed away, I was left alone with someone I barely recognized, myself. Most people spend their lives avoiding their own company. They fill their days with noise, work, and distractions to escape their thoughts. But at 75, running isn't an option anymore. Your body won't allow it. So you sit, and in that stillness, I discovered a strength I never knew was there. What remains is the foundation you build inside yourself. If you never learn how to be alone with who you are, old age can feel frightening. But if you do, it becomes a place of refuge. I've come to understand that I am enough as I am. I've learned to forgive the woman I was at 25 and again at 50. What remains now is a gentle peace with the face I see in the mirror. You eventually realize that you were your own closest companion all along. You just didn't recognize it at the time. People often ask me if I have regrets. Of course I do. Anyone who says otherwise is either lying or fooling themselves. But by the time you reach 75, you learn there's a difference between regret and remorse. I regret the chances I was too afraid to take. I regret the loving words I kept inside because my pride got in the way. But the deepest pain comes from remembering the moments when I wasn't kind. We spend so much effort trying to be right. We argue. We hold on to resentment. We protect our pride. Yet as I watch names in my address book slowly disappear, I understand that being right is a very lonely kind of victory. What remains is the truth that kindness was always the better choice, no matter the disagreement. If there's someone you can call today, please call them. Not to reopen an argument or clear the air, but simply to say, I'm glad you're here. One day they won't be, and whatever score you were keeping won't matter anymore. There's a quiet grace that comes with watching the world continue without you. I see teenagers glued to their screens, speaking in words I barely understand, moving with endless energy. At first it made me feel bitter, like life was leaving me behind. Then I realized that this is exactly how it's meant to be. What remains for me now is the role of the observer. I'm here to witness the cycle keep turning. When I look into my grandson's eyes, I see my father looking back at me. I understand that I'm only one thread in a long, ongoing story. My role isn't to lead anymore, but to cheer from the side. Letting go of the need to matter so much brings a surprising sense of freedom. What remains is the joy of watching life begin again, knowing a piece of me lives on in others. So what's left when everyone else is gone? Gratitude. A deep, aching gratitude for the sheer wonder of having been here at all. For loving, even when it led to loss. For witnessing thousands of sunrises. I'm 75 now, and I'm no longer afraid of the dark, because I've learned that light never truly disappears. It simply moves somewhere else. If you're hearing this, don't wait until you're my age to figure out what truly remains. Look for it right now. It's in your next breath. It's in the person sitting across from you. It's in the quiet place inside your own heart. Thank you for spending this time with me here on the porch. If these words touched you, share them with someone you care about. Subscribe if you'd like to hear more reflections on life's journey. And if you feel like it, leave a comment. Tell me one thing you've learned to value more as you've gotten older. I read everyone. They make this house feel a little less silent.